Yeah, baby. I'm gonna dance.
Welcome to Tavern Talk, a spoiler-filled show based on the epic fantasy series Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. My name is Ryan, and joining me as always are Jansen Lashley Haynes and my brother Dan. And I want to say thank you to all humans who are watching, and please enjoy the show.
See, I jumped over my own foot, Ryan. I did that old dance move.
That was your big move in high school, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's how I got all the chicks.
All right, and look who we have joining us. It's Tree from Treehouse of Art. How are you doing, Tree?
I'm good. I'm super excited to be here. It's been a long time.
Yes.
It's the Treehouse of Art. It's the Treehouse.
Well, let's tell everyone what we are doing. We're talking about the season 1 extra animated series called Origins, and couldn't get a better guest to discuss it with us. I'm here to learn from you, Tree. Please enlighten us as we go through the series. Brother Dan, you get that share screen going?
Yep, I'm getting it right now.
I thought you were puppet-splaining it to me.
Yeah, that was a funny joke, but I would never dare. I would never dare. So yeah, I was supremely surprised when I found out that they were doing these animated series. And when we went to the premiere, if you're able to attend one of those, we got, I think, shown 3 of them or something like that. Instantly blown away by it. It was really neat seeing it in the theater also, because I mean, like, the details,
the music, and the big old screen. I wasn't able to go to one of those things.
Like, if I think I gave the overall series season 1 like a 6.5. Like, but I would give this Origin series an 8.5.
Agree.
Right?
I agree.
Maybe what he isn't to bringing it up to 20, even a 20, is that they're so short. I could almost have envisioned the entire series being done in this animated way, and I think that would have been like my favorite show ever.
Well, this is also, and me and I don't know if you remember Tom Maryland back in as early as The Great Hunt, how he really, really did not like people playing at, doing plays. They called themselves players and things like that. Well, we would disagree, because this is one of the reasons why I love visual storytelling. That, you get something to your senses that you don't get in just reading. And it brings you closer to the story, I think, when you get to see things like this, especially when done as beautifully as these were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're gonna very carefully just show images of it to kind of refresh our brains as to what each episode is. What is the first episode called, Dan?
It is called Season 1 Origins. I think it's called... what is it called? I didn't write it down.
They are actually all called Season 1, Episode 0 of the Wheel of Time Origin. I didn't get past anything else.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So this one is... Hold on. Let me see.
On mine, it's called The Breaking.
Okay.
The
Break.
Yes.
All right, so, and it's pretty much what we have is we have like an Aes Sedai teaching a little class on how to do, the history. I love those big flags.
Is that
God,
one?
I love those big flags.
Okay.
Yeah, this is, so it ends up, so she's talking about, and so began the breaking.
Okay. Because... yeah, this is the one where they actually... I think this is the one where they actually show Luz Theron. No, that's not it, is it?
Yeah. This one does have Luz Theron.
Okay, so they actually show the making of Dragonmount on this one.
That's a cool shot. I like that.
Uh-huh.
He looks in the top
Yeah.
part of the sword, and it's normal,
Yes.
and then he looks at the bottom part, and his eyes are all bloodshot.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. This episode did something that the books did not completely portray to me when I first read them, and I think this is something that it's a big difference because they always compare the Wheel of Time to Lord of the Rings and things like that. Inevitably, it's always going to happen. But this is one of the things to me that separates them. More and more that I read these books and more that I even see the show and I'm seeing these visuals, this is a post-apocalyptic show or story, and it even though it's definitely medieval in lots of different ways and definitely a true sci-fi, it's definitely a post-apocalyptic story, and I'm getting that more and more from the visuals here. When they showed the Age of Legends, which I loved, almost looked like you were walking down the street like Fifth Avenue in New York looking up at the skyscraper.
Yes. Yes.
I love that because it made me understand more that we're living in the Age of Legends right now. Despite the magic, where we're living in. We're living in that era, so I like that.
Oh, interesting. I always pictured like we die off, Age of Legends happens in the next age, and then Rand comes after that.
Well, see, I think we have everything that the Age of Legends had, right? With the exception of Saidar and Saidin. We have Jokars.
What was that, Tree?
I was gonna say, if people from this time, all that we have now, we have cell phones, we have TV, planes, we have cars. Like those things are magic if you don't understand.
Yeah, we have the World Wide Web, which is essentially the standing flows.
That's funny. I'd always thought like basically Tom Maryland said, how we ended, like in fire and ice, and right. I always thought that like he hinted that we're all just gonna nuclear annihilate ourselves, which I thought was kind of the right, like which bringing that out very early on, I thought it was interesting to frame the whole thing. I didn't pick up on like any sci-fi elements in my first read through. But now in the second read through, it's everywhere, and it's a ubiquitous now. I can't not see it. So, very clever how he did it. Why would they be able to even talk about it in ways that are meaningful? So it all has to be like roundabout and perceived through the almost like the gods must be crazy. The Coke bottle hitting that dude and gods must be crazy. It's like right, like all of a sudden it becomes like a totem to a higher power and whatnot, and it's just a Coke bottle to us, like.
And they throw it off the end of the world, which is just a mystery. It's just a big cliff.
Yeah, just a big cliff. Speaking of big cliffs, as we talk, I really want to hear your thoughts, Tree. How would you describe this art style? And can you talk to me about why you think they chose to go in this direction?
Well, it definitely looks like they went with something that looks a lot more painted. Like if you go, I was checking out some of the pillars earlier, like the edges are really kind of rough. Like it looks definitely like someone's painting, and it kind of reminds me like illustrations in a storybook. And I think because it's a story, they went with more direction like that. Like this to me right now looks like a book cover, right? A lot of them look like things you'd find inside of a book. So just moving
kind of like the book
really
cover, the original book covers of the series in some instances.
I love that they kept the brushstroke thing right? too. I don't know. Could be.
Wait, Tree, what did you say right before that?
I said I love that they kept just some of the brushstrokes in. Like I love the free. And when they have like the destructions of the world, and I was watching, it reminds me of somebody crumpling up paper too. Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
So is this all digital, or do you think there's any mixed medium going on in this?
It's hard to say. Like I would say it's most likely all digital. They
Probably,
probably sketched it by hand and put some of the sketchings in, and the backgrounds, some of the backgrounds might be hand painted with some digital over top of it, but I would guess it's all digital.
Okay. Well, yeah, so that was episode 1. I love this shot. God, breathtaking.
Yeah, that makes
And this is the scale and scope that the show, I believe, was not able to capture in certain areas. It is remarkable how like huge they were able to make this, and like just how grand. Dan, be careful how much you're playing there. All right, let's move on to the next one.
All right.
I know it's so hard not to watch all of it.
No, we've gotten one of them damn strikes before, and it's a YouTube curse.
You.
It's fair use. We're talking all over that bad boy, but no. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. Oh, they're the titles. The Fall of Manetheren.
Yeah, Fall of Manetheren.
Jansen and I were talking earlier, and this is your favorite, Jansen?
This is mine as well.
Yes, this is my favorite. I just love the grittiness, the visuals. This guy is gone through hell and back just to even be alive right now. He's got the arrow. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's such a great image right there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that crowd.
That's my king, Ryan. I don't care who you all follow. That's my king.
Am I wrong in saying that that's one of Tam's ancestors?
Ooh, I want to think that so badly.
I don't know.
Wasn't his last name Althorin?
Oh.
Eamon Althorin?
I have no idea.
Chat.
I get to find out.
Come on.
Where's our chat geniuses?
Nerd check us.
Come on, guys. I really, I may be right about this. Now, I haven't
I hope
read
you're right.
Eye of the World for a while, but when Moraine talks to the immense fielders when they're trying to turn her out, she says his last name was Althorin.
Oh, here we go. NanoWzrd.
Thank you,
Cool.
NanoWzrd.
So that's like the patronage, or what's that word? Yeah.
So the lineage of Tam Althor, I believe, just like everything else, that they forgot the inn and they kept going. It used to be Aemon's Field, now it's Emond's Field. I do have an inkling that is a relative of Tam Althor.
Yeah, brother Dan used to be Mick Brother Dan, but when he came over in the potato famine, he dropped the Mick. I used to be Orion.
Tis true.
Tis true. So much potato.
Blarney.
All the potatoes.
So many potatoes.
Okay, that's interesting. I thought Althorin was a title. That's interesting. Could that be the case?
Really
I don't know. That's possible. Okay. I didn't know that. That's possible. I just thought, throughout, we talked about this last week as well. Throughout the book, a third name means a lot. So it could be a title. That's very true.
Yeah, I just can't get over these background paintings. Like, they're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So she just saw her husband die. She knows it happened. She felt it because he was her warder.
Yeah.
You can see it on her face, man. And just prior to that, there's our boy.
How do you think she hurt her neck? Did they ever get into that?
It was a workman's comp issue, right?
Okay. Is she faking it? She has to wear her neck bracelet. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So
that crown is so cool.
Down goes Aemon.
Down goes Aemon, and it ends with boom. A boy finding the crown.
Is that Tam Althor?
Yeah, but this is all basically a speculation scene, right? They're talking about like.
Oh, what is this? Wait, what do you mean speculation thing?
Well, after everything's gone, they talk about the future, and the the wine spring and the wine spring and everything. And I think that little picture of the boy finding the crown did not actually happen.
Oh.
It's just some them talking about the future. I think it's more of a symbolism than something that actually happened in the story.
Okay.
That the blood is kind of thick.
Yeah.
That
the blood runs. Yeah. The blood sings in Manetheren, and that crown coming out of the water is still the descendants of Manetheren's blood. I think that's more of a thing like that.
You don't think Tam has it under his bed beside his sword?
No.
Yeah. It's in that secret box.
Yeah.
Rand, stay out of my secret box.
Oh, we didn't get to see that image in the first episode, but God, the Aes Sedai library right here, or this
is that
those scrolls and stuff.
Age of Legends library? Yeah, this is amazing.
So let's talk real fast about the choice that we've seen so far. For the first episode, I love it because we didn't get the classic prequel, the opening to the book.
Yes.
But Origins kind of, addresses that.
I do like the way that they did that. Because, the reason why they didn't want to give too much away, for, future seers of the show. And they didn't want to give too much away. And I think this is a perfect way for them to give people the gist of what happened, but then they get to fill in the blanks for them over the next couple of years. Oh, that's how that happened. Oh, wow. I think that when they give those little tidbits, the visuals of especially, the artwork was fantastic. So they're going to have those in their head. I wonder how that happened. When is that? Oh, that's that moment when I saw, playing
Were there any that you would think? Now, there's one in particular that I think should be put later on to another season. Are there any of these that you think should be rearranged, or any that you would have wanted to see done early on?
I'll tell you one that there's two now that I'm thinking about it that I hope they continue to do this as well, because that would be really awesome. I would love to see the Towers of Midnight done in this form. When they make the first ADOM and things like that, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love to see the Road to the Spear done, with the Aiel, the history of the Aiel. That would be amazing.
That's great.
I'd love to see those.
How about you, Ryan?
Oh, I was so enamored by listening. Okay, you go, and then
Okay.
Thank you.
I think a weird but cool origin would have been Andor. We could have tied it into where the two rivers are considered on the western edge of Andor, but they don't recognize it. But to show a palace, to even maybe show Elida showing up as the first day of advisor or something, and them alluding to.
Oh, I thought you were going back to all the way to Ishara.
Oh no, I'm talking. About 20 years ago.
Okay, yeah. I see. So we would see the story of Tigraine and Queen Mordralane, and that would be awesome. I'd love that. That'd be really.
Maybe even a Lenny. It's told through Lenny. Lenny saying,
I love Lenny.
I actually don't want to. I don't want to see current characters really in it. I guess
we have loyal. Well, no.
Well, Lenny's been alive forever, so
it's called Origins. So I don't think we would see the current timeline because it's an origin story. I'm also thinking that the fall of Aridhall would be an amazing one as well.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's one that I thought they should have had in the first season, and then the warrior one with the bow staff. I think that should have been later. Yeah, Jerome.
I see. Yeah,
guiding.
That's a good idea. You're right.
That should have been later if we have that Matt scene.
If I were an Amazon executive, which could happen any day now. It could happen any day now. Thank you, Tree.
Ryan. Yeah, they just won't negotiate
my terms. Yeah, my terms. No,
guys, Jeff.
I'm not going to wear that out. I'm not going to. I'm coming in with red shirt, this tie.
Yeah. No, we're positive.
I was born with this on. All right, so I would like to see something that like the origin of the Gleeman Society.
Ooh.
Something that gives the audience a broader depth of understanding about what a Gleeman is possible or incapable of. Because we meet one, and he's got a good hair. He throws knives, and that's about it. Like, it was very brief. We know that he's going to be super significant. Apparently, he's not even coming back in season 2. So yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no Tom, season 2. I know, sad. Yeah,
but no more Wheel of Time for me. I'm done.
It sucks that we know. Yeah, but
man who can't forget.
If that's the case, you know what's going to happen. That in season 3, when Rand, which has already been greenlighted, when Rand, takes the stone, Tom will probably be in every episode after that for at least 2 seasons because of how big his part in it is. Unless they change that.
I'm hoping. God damn it. I am hoping.
Well, I do believe that he's going to have a bigger part. I believe that they're going to change a little bit from the book, and I don't think that Elaine is going to not remember who he is. I think Elaine's going to see him, walk up to him, and slap him in the face. That's what I thought.
Interesting.
Now, so if Tom comes back with like a limp, right? As an actor, having to fake a limp, and then having to fake a limp for like 6 seasons or 5 seasons at least, like, can that like hurt the actor? That could like.
No, dude, put a brace on your knee and cover it so you have to walk that way.
No, but I mean, in terms of like over and over again, like making your body do something.
Not if you're physically fit. No.
Well, who is? I'm not. All right. Well,
Ryan, do you even have legs?
No,
put them on today?
I'm trying. It's empathy. I'm showing empathy here.
Sir Patrick Stewart was Dr. X in a wheelchair, and he said he kind of liked having to rest. It felt nice sitting.
But he could have gotten bed sores on his behind.
I worked with Sir Patrick on Star Trek, and
right.
Cool.
And he actually was a very, very spry old man.
Nice. Nice.
Hi. Johnson, my boy.
And my very, very awesome.
All right.
We Patrick Stewart actually shows
Brother
up.
Dan, hold on. Let's see some solo. Yes.
Very nice.
We're so stoked.
Sir Patrick Stewart will call in every once in a while.
I was like, why is he texting during the show?
Patrick Stewart, I believe, would be the greatest Damar Flynn that there ever was.
Ooh, okay. That's a good fan cast.
Awesome, man. Join me.
Yeah, I think he'd be an awesome Damar Flynn.
Well, let's get back into this. I like that, though. Here we got the Greatest Warder.
Yes,
and
I love
this
this
is the one.
That looked like a photograph.
Let's go a little bit into it. Boom. Boom. Fights.
This is the one that a lot of fans from the book that read the book love, because it took some quotes directly from The Dragon Reborn, book 3, and it had a scene that duplicated one of the fight scenes, kind of, in The Dragon Reborn between Mat and the 2 brothers from Camelin, Gawain and Galad. We even have, at the end of the scene, we have the head warder who we don't think is Maxim or any of the other ones that were. We think this is one of the older. This is from back in the day. This is from a previous time, earlier time. But what I loved was they not only gave those quotes from the book, but they elaborated on it. And they specifically said that his sole defeat became a legacy. Never again underestimate your fellow man. Respect the wielder, not the weapon. Now, that is a talisman that we never really got in the book that I actually love, that people get to. I mean, they're doing everything they can to make us understand what it means to be a warder. Not even just an Aes Sedai, and all the other people and factions in this series and in this story, but they're doing everything they can to show us how resolute, how loyal, how strong, and the things that these men have to go through to get this, title. And
This yard is muddy and crappy. It's not like a pretty yard that has Aes Sedai sitting on balconies eating grapes watching.
Exactly.
This is like gnarly.
It's like you're going through Green Beret training, like right. in the old time. You're getting beaten up. You're learning your lessons every day and how to be better. And they tell you, and they do this all the time. Get up, get to your feet, get back at it, And I actually, I love the Warders. So they're a faction that I still think is underrated in this series.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. When was the first Warder bonded, Jansen?
The first
or Tree?
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
I have no idea.
Let me think about this for a minute because I think I know the answer.
Did they have Warders in the Age of Legends?
Doesn't Brigitte tell us this? God, I can't remember.
Is it?
I should know this. God, there's so many different. Damn, I can't remember.
Come on, get the watching music going. You got 1 minute to answer. Go.
Okay, yeah. Seriously.
I mean,
he does better under pressure.
I mean, they never say that Jerome Gaidin. Well, no, Jerome Gaidin was a warder. We call him Gaidin, so he was a warder no matter what. So I don't know who his Aes Sedai was.
I don't know.
That's so pretty.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
I thought they took a lot of chances with this series of animated shorts. They could have gone in and I think it's a valid complaint. Someone in chat said that it was just so dark anyways, like you could barely see anything. Look at that. Yeah. I could see that complaint. It's valid. And that's the type of chances I think they're taking artistically, and I'm surprised. I felt like they took more artistic chances in this than the television show.
Oh well, yeah, they had to. I mean,
yeah,
that's very dark.
Also, remind me, and I wanted to ask this or see if we could find out. Did the channeling in the animated series when Manethrin falls and she goes crazy and she starts channeling, does it look like it does in the television show? Did they make it look similar?
A little bit, but a little bit not. And because there's certain things they can do with a cartoon they don't have to do with a live action, visual.
Uh-huh.
Like, in the cartoon form, when and not in this episode, but when one of the other episodes, when the Aes Sedai is walking with a ball of light, the ball of light's just right in front of her. You don't see the weaves making it or anything.
You're right.
You don't need to, because the visual is so good that what it is. In the show, they show all the coming together because they talk. It was a way to understand that there are certain people that can see this happening and certain people who can't.
Mm-hmm.
in the books they talk about that all the time. How it's one of the main things of how people can detect the one power. So men get goosebumps when women are channeling near them, but all women, if they're trained, can see the glow, can see weaves and things like that.
Is there? Do you think we're gonna get that image of a non-channeler seeing someone channeling and just like not understanding what's happening, just seeing someone just like standing there? Like,
I do think we may see that. Yes.
Okay. Right now, it seems unclear. It seems like everyone can just see what's happening.
Yeah, but one of the things that Wheel of Time is very, very, very good and big on is POVs. We get a lot of different people's POVs in from the very beginning of the show too. When the guy's running with his friend who's not there. We see a lot. We see a lot of people's point of view. So I think we will get that in certain instances, and they will be very purposeful.
Cool.
MaTsDaGger makes a really good point in that they could have just shown the greatest warder get beaten by a farmer instead of telling it that way.
Yeah. You're right.
This was I'm with you, Tree. This one, first time that doesn't seem to fit perfectly with. I see that there were like warders, obviously in the episodes, but to me, this one could have waited. We could have had a different warder. We could have even had like something about the bonding itself or something. And I do think that this one was a bit dark for my taste. So this one was my least favorite, but I still liked it a whole lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to say to the point of showing the fight, it could be because it's just a story.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
Yeah, never
Someone's
happened.
telling a story, so it's yeah. And I actually just had a thought too that I think they didn't put the Shadar Logoth Arid Hall thing in because they told that story in the show.
Yep.
And I'm also wondering, like, because people do storyboards for shows and stuff, right? So I'm wondering if these origins. Oh, crap, I lost my thought. But anyway, I was thinking the storyboard for everything, maybe they cut that out. Maybe they cut these in. And then,
I guarantee there's some that didn't make it in.
Yeah, there was a comment that was made earlier that I'm trying to touch on, but now I can't quite remember what it is. So.
Because I do think that the Battle for Manetheren is addressed in the song that they sing. And she tells that story. Yeah. What? She's like, you know what that song's about, boys? They're like, I don't know. It's just a dumb song. And she's like,
that's true. She does tell the story there.
So it makes sense that we would have seen the creation of Shadow Logoth perhaps in one of these origins as well.
Yeah.
So the next one, let's move on. I think is the next one.
Yeah.
So, gone. I mean, side inside our stone.
Yes.
That's the old version of Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Yeah.
Or
right,
rock, scissors, papers.
Here, Jansen. Oops.
No, this is a really good visual about. They really try to tell us the differences.
Yeah. They're these floating balls.
That channeling scene where you were asking if they're the same. I'm wondering if the origins storyboard was made first and they tried to make the show look like that, or if it was opposite.
So the artistic
So
the actual artistic
well, we know
original idea came from the artists themselves. That's quite good.
I would think that the storyboard came first. I think that's true. See, look, you see how we don't see any, we just see a light.
Yep.
Don't see the weaves or anything. We just see what she's manifested.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Okay, so that's just like an inconsistency then.
So hold on, because I can't remember when Maureen.
Oh, look at that!
Channeled the first
reminds
episode.
me of New York.
Yeah, it does. Did we see her weeps, or did we just see the stuff she was doing?
Look, that's a big penis down there on the bottom. They always do that in movies. They always
Big
throw in a penis. Liberal media trying to throw in penises in our faces.
it's that critical race theory stuff, Ryan. I'm telling you.
Just look at it down there. All right. Remember the Little Mermaid? God, it was all like the original poster. They had to redo it because it was like full of.
We got to get communism out of librarians, is what I'm saying, Ryan.
Hey Dan, our viewerships keep going up. Keep it on there. I think people like it. It works for the...
You know what? God damn it! I'm sorry. Brother Alex Jones.
Incredible progress.
This is one of the things that made that shot right there is one of the things that made me think that we were living in the age of legends.
Yeah.
This is really interestingly done. These two rivers, which define the one power, and one that it talks about it's tainted from upstream, so you can't, and it shows the person just fighting against it.
Yeah, this is a really hard concept to show, and I think they did it very, very well.
Yeah, very, very well. And they've been showing it differently in a lot of different parts and times. Like even from the very first.
See,
yeah, that's awesome.
So good. That is the raging torrent that is going on inside of Rand each and every time he channels.
Yeah,
he is stepping into. Think of that, right? I mean, this is so good. I love this.
Some of the Forsaken stay in this state.
And they get flecks in their eyes, right?
No, that's only if they start using the true power.
Oh, start taking the true power.
They
start mainlining that shit.
Oh man!
Wow,
so good. And then it shows the females, and they are more or less they just got to drift.
That is a crazy point, though, Jansen, that the Forsaken live in that state.
Yeah, they live in that state. In fact,
do Forsaken sleep?
Yeah, but we also remember in book 2, Lanfear as Selene tells Rand to stay in the state as well. Seek the oneness. She calls it the oneness, and she says keeping it stay in it at all times.
And he doesn't ever really do that, right? Yeah, he
goes sometimes, and that's why Patton famed him sometimes.
Was she trying to manipulate him to go mad quicker, or to?
No, I think she was trying to get her ill-perceived partner ready for her and her, the things that
battle
she
against
wants.
the Dark One. Yeah. Okay, so it's more like she was just training her Pokemon too hard.
Basically,
she's like, level up, and Charizard's like, I can't.
This is Sidar. This is releasing a surrender as it is, and then it goes to.
See how hip I was? I brought up first generation Pokemon.
So hip.
Really good.
I know. Are they even around? Is Charizard a thing anymore?
Of course he is.
Charmander?
Son, I know.
Yeah, his card's worth $10 million if it's good or something.
One of them is.
Yeah. So that's the bud.
The
Be the bud. You and the bud are one, Ryan.
My favorite is Snorlax. My favorite Pokemon is
you just
Snorlax.
Googled that.
Snorlax is a good
if
one.
you and the bud are one, yeah. Then you're like a mixture of Dr. Brommer's ads and your medical marijuana dispensary.
Exactly.
I was like, I'm gonna say it's legal.
I like that. I like that one a lot. I think it was instructional. I think it kind of, if you were not aware of what, they sound alike. You don't really know what's going on with the male half. So this was a good thing, especially in correlation with Logain himself being a part of the whole episode here. So I like this one here.
With that too as well. Now I had a question last week about whether or not we're going to see the big differences between male and female halves of the source. because we were talking about teaching and who could teach Rand. We were also talking about Terangriel and Angriel and whether they were made for women and men. Now, after watching this again, this tells me that they are at some point going to differentiate between the male and the female half. We just don't know to what extent. As far as the show's concerned, at least.
And the show left it ambiguous. The show was like, he's like, you teach me. And she's like, no, you'll go mad if I do.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hold on. He'll go mad anyways. Does it mean you can't? Or you
what
won't?
Did she say? Like teaching a bird to swim or a fish to fly?
In the books, yeah, but not in the show.
Now, I expect for Viren to say that next season because she is the one who's host in the books. I do expect I expect Viren to have a lot of Viren quotes from the book. I expect her to be very close to what they're doing with Uno.
All right, who's your Viren fan cast?
Viren,
the blue fairy from Sleeping Beauty.
Nice. Okay, I don't know the reference, but yes.
It's just a cartoon character.
Nice.
A little blue fairy.
Oh, that would be amazing. Amazon, take that seriously.
Mine would be Mary Jo Rupp.
And, okay, help me out. I'm looking her up right now.
She played the mom on that 70s show.
Oh.
I think she would make a perfect brown Aes Sedai.
That's Kitty's laugh.
Because she has a really easy way of like acting like she doesn't know what's going on when she really does.
Actually, I love that a lot. That's perfect.
That's a good one. Yeah,
I'm on board.
That's what I like. I have weird thoughts. I mean, everyone has their own. I heard the fans want Catsuin. I know who they want, but I still think Kate Mulgrove would play Catsuin fantastically. She was one of the captains on Star Trek, and I think she's a great actress. I think she would make a great Aes Sedai too, but that's just my thought.
Okay.
No, I can't. I'm not going to be able to not see Kitty as Viren now. Thank you.
Right, yeah.
We are on to the 5th, the penultimate.
Okay, what's this one called?
What is this one called?
This is the making of the White Tower, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's just called the White Tower.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, it's pretty much going through the history saying, all right, after all this dog shit happened.
Oh, that's beautiful. Man, I love that window.
So good. It's so
and
good.
What I do like about this, they talk about all 7 of the Ajas. And they're pretty spot on and canon with the books, except for a little bit they talk about the Grey Aja, and they mention them as not just ambassadors, but people of the law. You know, they're like lawyers who travel almost. And I like that, you know, because they are they do. That is what most ambassadors and negotiators would be, attorneys. I can see that. Being married to one, I also understand. And I always think, if my wife was an Aes Sedai, so I say that she is somewhere between gray and red.
Wow.
Oh,
that's quite the mix.
Are you kidding me? She's a public defender. She is a righteous cause person, man. Right? She's a blue all the way.
You don't live with her.
Yeah, but she threatens to kill Jansen daily.
Yeah, I guess there's that.
She definitely has the tenacity of a red, for sure.
Nice.
Wow, this artwork is gorgeous. It really does give the scale that the show doesn't give for the hallways and entryways of the White Tower. In fact, that room, the sitting hall and whatnot, it's kind of cramped. It's not that big. This artwork here, though,
it's beautiful.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, they're just walking through like these huge, enormous place.
I love it. I love that. I just want to make a point about this because there's a few scenes, like a few little clips in here where Ogier helped build this place, right? So there's some pillars you see, and they all look a little bit different. Like they're not completely the same, like you would see.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
the
yeah,
architecture
yeah.
it reminds me of trees, like tree trunks. And then even that
Oh,
one that you just had
cool.
with like the arches over
That's
top
awesome.
reminds me of walking through a forest. And there's like a lot of those little earthy touches that I appreciated when I was watching this.
I did not pick up on that. Thank you, Tree.
What are those rings?
Pursuers of truth and reason.
She
I
juggling?
feel like they're just like glow, like magic
Oh.
glows around her hands. I don't know.
She's doing some sort of channeling. See,
Yeah.
that's weird. Then we get to see that. I don't know. I don't know why we'll see
Well,
channel.
you know why we see that? I think we see that because more than 10 different times in the series, they always talk about the grants and the connecting bridges in Tarval.
Oh,
They
yeah.
talk about that so much, and I think that it's really great to see that. I love this.
I love this
Keep
too.
it-
I love all the Aja photos.
I want all the browns to just be plump. Like, I
Let's
don't like
see.
these skinny browns.
But I don't know why you would say that when there's so many Damani women who go to the tower and are in the brown with the dresses that they wear. I don't know if they
No,
would
but
all-
they turn plump from sitting around Reno all day. Hey, 200 years of that?
The blues. That's cool.
Yeah. That's really cool.
see-
That's really cool.
Now that's a little bit different than the books because they say that they're women that look after search for causes, not seekers of justice. They say that
Yeah.
that's part of them, but they
Well, look at all the whispering going on in the background too.
What do you think the symbolism is between her pouring the jugs of water into those books?
huh.
That's really interesting.
Yeah, that is interesting.
Uh,
Yeah, I never noticed that. I thought that was light going into the books, but yeah, I never noticed that. That's a great. I don't know.
Could be light. I don't know.
Can you zoom in, Dan?
let me see.
Pinch. Here, and then
I don't think so.
okay.
No.
What do we know
That's
about
okay.
they have the
Oh.
most extensive?
Oh yeah, bring it down. Let's
Woo!
see that stuff. All right. So that could either be one power, like true, like yeah, that could either be like pouring magic into the books.
Knowledge, maybe. Symbolic.
She has the
don't know.
Quisiera or what? Quisiera.
That's
Yeah.
funny
I think
because
that would be a brown thing, right? Like the browns.
our first time reader Josh is always bringing out
We do like all the
of the
whispering in
text water references regarding Moraine. He picked
Secrets,
that up in
secrets,
like
secrets.
the first chapter of Moraine. That's fascinating to see them pouring water into the books like that.
Huh. So let's think. Women are strong in water and air. What are blues hugely known for? Eyes and ears. Their network of. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, they're all whispering over here. You can see
really weird.
the network. They're all,
Yeah,
right?
I love that. Secrets. They always have secrets.
I thought they were making out. At
Yeah,
first.
I thought they're pillow friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Oh, the Blues are just known for that. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
No, I think the Reds would be known for that more.
Yeah.
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 Just
Someone
out of
just said
spite.
Aquarius vibes. So I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought about too. The Aquarius zodiac sign, the water bearer. But I don't see how that would be a connection really. But
See, this looks like an ancient painting. It's so great.
Those are the Greys. I love this. I mean, they have the horses for traveling. You know, they all, you know, they're talking to kings and queens. They're ambassadors. I love that they're depicted, especially, oh my God, what's her name?
It looks like they're coming to the Greys. The Greys are holding court.
and they're
Yeah.
sitting
Yeah,
on
that-
a painting.
Because they're used to being in those situations.
Yeah.
They're used to being, you know, in a high profile situation. You got to believe when a Grey comes to town, they're probably a parade, maybe some kind of like, you know, a huge feast day to welcome like the ambassador of the Aes Sedai. So, you know, they're pretty much, they're probably, they're Aes Sedai first and they're ambassadors. So they're probably all treated like royalty. And I love
And look at these outfits. I mean, these guys are Conquistadorable. Am I right?
Yes. Oh, you held on to that one for a while. Good job, Dan.
Thank you.
If I know my brother Dan, he was just like squirming.
I'm waiting. Yeah, the key to comedy. Timing. Oh, dang it.
What were you saying, Tree?
I got excited because I saw the red, the person with the red outfit, and then on the other side, the person with the blue outfit, and the grays are mediators, right? So it made me think that they're doing like a. Anyway, that was it.
I did not. See, only an artist would catch that. That is very.
Yes.
I have to believe that.
Yes.
That's awesome.
That was like the great coming together of the Bloods and Crips in LA.
Thanks
exactly
to the gray Aja.
That's awesome. Oh.
I like this one.
Going from gray to red, Dan. I see what you just did there.
The guys are
You're trying to trigger our new friend Jensen.
Now here, you know what else they did here is another variation from the book. It makes a lot of sense. That in the book, us as readers, most of the readers, we get very quickly that the Reds' sole purpose is to hunt down men that can channel. But what they did here and in the show, they expanded on that, and they gave them a little bit more of a purpose than just being crazy man-haters. They are in charge of making sure anyone does not misuse the one power. So they gave them a little bit more responsibility than just running and looking for men who can channel, which I actually liked. It gives them more purpose. It gives them it fills them out a little more and makes them less one-dimensional, I think. So I like that they did that, and I like that they're showing that.
Right, because otherwise you figure, okay, there's a male that can channel every 1 or 2 years. You need an entire Aja for that? Come on.
Yeah, and even Androl even says that to Bavar. Your Aja is doomed. Yeah. You're no longer tainted anymore. And then Pavara does come back with something very cool, saying that who better to help you with and everything like that. And they did give them a little bit more of a purpose in the end of A Memory of Light. But I think that going into it, I think that being in the White Tower, being these elite factions, that the Reds would have more and be way more less one-dimensional than just looking for men who can channel. Because if that's the case, there's not that many men that they find. So what are they doing other than, walking around waiting to man-hate? I think that sucks. So I like that they gave them more of a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at that.
Police.
Oh, so cool. Who's that?
I don't know.
It looks like an old Lara Croft video game.
It's like Alana, maybe.
Well, this lady, or this Aes Sedai, I guess, in this little Origins episode, talks about becoming the Amyrlin, right? At the end?
Is this Young Swan?
Oh. I don't think so. I think it's an older...
okay. It almost looks like see that narrator picture up there? It almost looks like her.
It could have been. I think she's wearing green. Maybe it's an Egwene foreshadow. Because Swan.
See, that looks like Moraine, though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I kind of hate that throne.
Really? Why?
I like it.
Well, look at it. It looks like something you could mold out of plastic.
No, look how many booties have been on it.
It's just slowly melting down.
So many booties.
That's the Amyrlin seat. I don't like
that doesn't look too comfortable.
I don't like it. I don't like it. It looks like an Amyrlin like Barca lounger.
It looks more like the chair of remorse to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like droopy and sad.
Yeah,
no, I don't know. I like in the show it's intricate but I don't know. I never liked it. Sorry.
How dare you have an opinion?
I like her face though.
Yeah, so that's We assume that this is Swan, man.
See, that doesn't look like Swan to me. I'm thinking because it's
It
an
says
origin
here
story.
here we vote, and she
Yeah.
says here I got. Oh, see, that's rad. I'll throw on the Amber. See, here I got. Oh, so
The Amerlin drooping like 70s. It
I'm
looks like
sworn
I'm
in.
trying to be hip 70s couch.
It's like
Yeah, I
that
don't
molded
like the
plastic.
It looks
Now
like you
that
just
you've
slide
brought my
off of
attention
it.
to it.
Yeah, it looks like a lip.
When it's
Your
wet,
bottom
yeah,
lip.
it's
Yeah, like
yeah.
a bottom
slide.
lip.
You go. Whee!
The back
It
reminds me
becomes
of
the
like a dream
Amerlin slip
catcher.
and slide.
Yeah,
What was that tree?
The back reminds me of a dream catcher.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
yeah.
I like the back. I
Yeah.
could work with that. Just give me
Now-
like a seat.
there's something else in this episode that
Cool, good job.
grabbed
Dan.
my attention.
Thanks.
Now, and this is as the story as a whole. So, they talk about how Dragon Mount is there right in actually I think it's right around this episode, this moment.
Is that
and they
Dragon?
talk
Yeah.
White Tower is there looking and waiting. And it just is so impactful to me because it shows the entire world is waiting for Rand. Every single thing
Yes.
that's going on is about Rand.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
no
yeah.
matter what.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is about this guy. Like,
Same,
and
yeah.
those are the stakes of this story. He is it. He
Yeah.
is the only thing that matters. And either you oppose him or you follow him for whatever reason. But he is the most important individual that is there for
Guys, there's North Harbor. No wait, it's over. Dang it! I
Was
can't
that-
find
Yeah,
it.
you got it wrong again, Dan.
I can't find it. It's
Just keep
hard.
trying.
Keep
You'll find
trying.
it.
Yeah,
I believe in
trying
you.
is half the battle. But
They
this
should
really
go-
shows you just the scope of Tarvalon
A for effort.
and the White
Do you
Tower.
have a Grove in there?
Oh, I see it. Yeah, Groves.
Do they? Where's the Grove?
Yeah, Grover's there. He's going super.
Grover!
Yeah, no, to the right, Dan. Go to the right. Back up.
That's where the Waygate is.
There's a grove in
out.
there. You see that big old patch of green?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, there's a
On
couple.
the right, like in the background.
No,
like up
I'm
here?
thinking of even more towards the building. There's like a light green area towards the building right there. Yeah, that could be a grove.
Okay.
That's right
Yeah.
by the building. Yeah.
No, it's got to be this though.
God, I'm starting to understand now how hard it would have been for Gareth Bryn to actually take this city. I think what
Yeah,
he's
if
saying,
you can't fly in, yeah, like if you can't just fly in.
Yeah,
I think it
these
was
bridges.
The Crown of Swords. Yeah, it was the Crown of Swords where he tells Egwene, and Morel Sedai that, Morel says him no one's ever taken Tarvalon. He said he will. Archer Hawkwing never got to block the harbors, and that was his total plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's battle stations all along this wall. I mean, it is a fortified city.
So yeah,
Mhm.
God, the amount of detail. So this is shows also how correlation there, or how much like coordination there is between the show and these narrations, because this is spot on what it looks like in the show. Like this is
This is exactly
this is the city.
That's what it looks like. You're right. So we can glean a lot from these episodes as far as the show's concerned. Now, I love this next one.
Me too. It's my favorite.
Well, before we jump into the next one, maybe we should tell people about our coffee friends, should we?
Yes, we should.
Coffee
And our mattress friends, should we?
mattresses.
Let's
Should we
give
throw
it.
these
Let's
in?
jump right into it.
Away the Leaf are proud to be partnering with Tourist Hat Coffee Company. Tourist Hat Coffee Company is a family-owned business with a strong belief in giving back to the community. Tourist Hat Coffee Company is a social purpose business whose mission is to bring people the absolute best in small batch coffee while supporting children at home and around the world. And if you go to touristhatcoffeecompany.com and use the promo code LEAF2022, you'll get 5% off your entire order. We hope Tourist Hat Coffee Company becomes your family's coffee of choice. Remember, a part of each order goes to an amazing charity and helps allow us to continue doing this show each and every week. So go to touristhatcoffeecompany.com and use promo code LEAF2022 and receive 5% off your entire order.
All right, and let's talk about Village Mattress. That's right, Village Mattress is the official sponsor, the official mattress and bedding sponsor of The Way of the Leaf. That's right.
Yep.
Our good friend Chris, he owns a store called Village Mattress. It's a small store, but he will ship anywhere in the continental United States and possibly even Canada.
Yeah, boy.
Right. So you go to villagemattress.net for exclusive deal for friends of the Leaf Brothers. Yes, if you mention that you got there through our ads or watching our show, you will get 30 to 50% off the entire order, and I cannot explain to you how amazing that is. You could get an entire bed frame, bedding, and a mattress, and possibly the best deal of your life. He is basically just wanting to help out the Wheel of Time community. You can call him up, 317-523-6831, or text him, because who calls each other? That's rude these days. And or you can email him at villagemattress@gmail.com. Talk to him about his what you've seen on his site, what you're interested in. He will guide you and get you the best deal of your life. I've certainly improved my sleep game and my mustache, and my lower half of my body are thanking me for it.
Right. I mean, that's the theme for 2023. Up your sleep game, people. Just little things. Little things. Oh, hey.
He's a great guy.
Sleep game.
Right. It's a win-win. All right. Thanks for that. It helps keep the lights on, everybody. What also helps keep the lights on is our Patreon, and we are delighted to be able to join up with a special group of people on Patreon. Coming soon, we have we're going to be dropping a draft for you guys, early draft of a video we're producing, a theory video. We're going to start a whole series called Watch Your Theory, and it's going to be fun. So Patreon will get early access to all of that and the entire script that we're writing for these videos, and that'll just be dropping into the Patreon.
Yeah.
Either way, we don't do much with you guys. We're busy. We suck at it, but it really, 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 really helps us keep this going, and we appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. So thanks for bearing with us.
All right.
We got one more origin, and this one is a bit of a redirection from what we've had in the past 5 ones. Wouldn't you say, Jansen?
I would. I'm not saying that this is my favorite one, but I'm saying that this is the best one.
Ooh.
Now, there was a couple of reasons for that. I stated earlier why I love visual storytelling. Now, what they did with this was, from the very beginning, you actually felt like you were in a setting. From the narrator to the music to the calmness, it actually gave you a sense of calm. It more than any of the other ones, and it was done beautifully. And I'll talk about the end of it a little bit later after Tree can talk about some of this as well, because I know that this is her favorite and she loves this. This was done fantastic. I love the way that they brought the Ogier lifestyle to us.
Well, we have some detail here. I'm seeing at least 3 different types of ships right in the foreground. If you look 1, 2, 3, if we zoom in over here, that ship there.
It's more like a skiff.
Yeah, I mean, and then we got these big trimasts over here. I mean, this is a fun.
Did you just say trimast?
Trimast, yeah.
What is a trimast?
It's Ryan. It's 3 masts.
Well, I know, but like, why are you walking around just saying trimast? Like, that's how do you? Anyways, like, you're an enigma, Dan. I feel like I don't know you sometimes.
Ryan, I told you about my long days when I was a merchant marine.
Oh no! Do I have?
I told you.
This is like a memento moment.
Yeah, I told you. You were there.
A man of many layers.
Oh, I love that shot.
Yes.
Yeah, this is.
I want that.
Now, this is also something for the next 100 years. I suspect that this story will be told over and over again. Piece of literature and many things you can do with it. That every time it is retold, especially from a visual standpoint, we're going to get a very different look of someone's idea of an Ogier. I just think we're going to always see different Ogiers in every different production of this. I do love the way that they did it here. It was very simple, and there were things that they didn't do in the book and things that they did, but it encapsulates the Ogier. And I think that, you know, after watching the show is, for me, what is the most important thing about this race of characters in this series. Do they encapsulate what Robert Jordan wanted them to be? And
I mean, Tree. If you were to draw an Ogier with eyes as wide as saucers, how could you not make it look anime? You know, or something. You know,
Exactly.
we do have an amalgamation here. We do have pointed ears that seem to have somewhat of tufts, maybe.
Yeah.
We don't see droopy eyebrows. The nose is less defined than the Loyal that we have in the show. But I like this. This is a strong looking dude.
Yeah.
But he also looks trustworthy and calm.
Yeah, and contemplative.
Yeah. He looks like a big man, but somebody you might not be scared of unless you had to be.
Hey, you're describing me, Jansen.
Look at that. I mean, that's just smeared, but I mean,
That was beautiful.
You mentioned the paint strokes. You can see the brush strokes right there. Yeah. That's
I'm just thinking, this reminds me of I'm looking up photos because this reminds me of Corey Lansdale art. This whole episode.
No, I mean, you feel like you're in a setting during this time.
Look at that tree.
Is he taller than other people?
Well, there's nothing to reference him.
Okay, we don't get the reference. Okay.
Other than the fact that, but we do see how big the trees are next to him. So we do see how giant they are.
Right. Yeah, this tree is just the absolute unit.
Big old tree.
And he even says some of them were seedlings or had been around since the Age of Legends. So these were extremely old trees. The great trees, the ones that in A Memory of Light we saw Rand actually grow.
Hey, real quick, Dan, go back or let me see it. Okay, see that narrator's face right there? Do you think if he knew that his face is gonna be popping up on millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of people's things, he would have chosen that picture? Do they hate him?
It's a happy picture.
That's like, no, he looks demented. I don't want to see that. Every time it pops up, I'm like, ah!
I want to see it again.
Yeah, okay.
It didn't look well. No, I like it. He's happy. He's narrating about this thing.
Yeah, he's a little.
Yeah, he's on one.
He was educated in London and New York. That's rare.
No,
okay.
He began dubbing films. He was on Mr. Bean. He's a natural mimic.
He has 10 more photos of him? Wait, is that 10 more? No, go back. Is that 10 more photos of him? Go over his...
No. These are...
Okay. They are him! He can't make a normal face! Well, that's... I mean, none of this is working for me.
I love it. Look at that.
That's better.
You have to understand something about voiceover actors.
He's a happy guy. I like him.
I like him too.
Yeah.
Voiceover actors are one of the biggest mixed breeds you'll ever get.
I see that. He's living that. No, he's living his best life. That's fine. I wish I was that happy. Let's go.
All right.
Yeah, they talk about the grove. They talk about the longing. And it's very tender how they talk about. Look at that picture. Like, I mean, it's always contemplation.
And like,
you gotta
and
think
looking,
that this is an old Ogier, right?
And kind of looking beyond that thing.
He doesn't have a mustache.
He's got gray.
Well, the guy's like 90 years old. Of course he got gray.
But yeah, that's a good point. Happens to the best of us.
Not yet.
What?
Is that his pack to go on an adventure?
Yeah, let's see. That's
Is he ever standing next to his horse?
Ogiers don't ride horses.
Not a horse?
Yeah, I guess it's a...
Was that a pack horse? What is that?
Well, maybe
Oh,
it's
he's got tools and stuff. He's probably going into a
Yeah,
city
it's
to
a
help
pack
them build
horse.
it.
No, yeah, it's his back.
Yeah,
maybe
see,
it's
the
like
humankind
one of,
was long prized Ogier masonry, so there's our
Yeah, like
masonry.
maybe
Torture
it's-
devices. Look at that. He's gonna. Hey, you need
Yeah.
the truth out of someone? I'll pull the tooth. Oh,
Yeah,
break a
Well-known
kneecap.
Ogier.
I'm
He has
thinking.
masonry
I'll
tools.
tie him up.
And maybe his horse is one of those big Durans like Master Alvear has.
I remember the first read through. I loved imagining Ogier battle. I loved imagining it. Like when he didn't describe it very much, but every description was just it was ugly.
Well, we see one very quick clip of Loyal in season 2 teaser. He does not look happy.
Yeah, I can't
He
wait for
looks-
that.
Pissed. So
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
There's our boy. Yeah. Oh yeah. So when they sing, so here we see the
Yes.
tree.
Yeah, I
sing a
love
boat.
this. Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah, we
Interesting.
only saw.
I'm so glad they showed us that. Even I never understood what that. I thought it was more like
A dead piece
less
of wood.
magical and more natural. Yeah, that seems
Yeah,
almost.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seemed like really a form of magic right there.
That looked like it came out of a portal in the tree where when I picture tree singing, I kind of imagine it like
Yeah,
a branch growing out of the tree into the shape.
yeah. It's almost
you
like that,
want.
like that. What is that one future show where like they just have like a microwave that just gives you any food you want? Right? Was that a?
Jetsons?
That's
No!
Sounds like Star Trek.
Yeah, something else, or it's like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It might be somewhere. Anyways,
Here, little kid, little ogre girl.
Something I did catch in this episode
do tell.
was that.
Oh, the
Rivers,
script
is
is
that-
beautiful.
Oh, look at that!
Ugh.
Your
It
script.
looks like tree branches.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It looks.
Now-
Yes.
You know, at the end of this episode, the narrator speaks of wanting adventure, a very un-Ogier-like thing, and it's almost Loyal-esque. They talk about, adventure isn't something that Ogiers want, but it's something that he wants. So I was like, so is this Loyal, or is this? Are they saying that deep down inside, all Ogier want adventure? No, it's not what they're supposed to be doing because of the longing or whatever else. But the narrator specifically talks about the wanting to go on adventure.
Jansen,
And the only
are we looking at the two rivers right here? Is this Amadisia? Hold on, let me hold up my map.
No, I think that's
All right, so if we hold up this map here, let me see if it's right.
yeah. I think that is that might be.
There's like
Yeah, it's the-
Amadisia. So is he reading about the two rivers? The dang two rivers?
Maybe, but yeah.
I mean,
I think I see Dragon Mount. No, is that the spine of the world?
Here,
Is
let
that,
me solo.
I think I saw
here
Tarvalin in there,
is
maybe.
Amadisia and Evansfield right there, and here is
I think we see
No.
Tarvalon, Dan.
Yeah, do you see the sideways eye
That's yeah. It wink.
with an eyelid?
Do you
in the
see the
middle?
sideways
Yeah.
eye?
This is
very
I'm
good.
forever
Nice.
gonna call it that now.
Very good. It really does. It looks like it.
Uh-huh.
That is.
Yeah,
That's Tarvalin, and then
Yeah.
then the spine of the world is
Okay.
over here.
okay. I'm back.
Oh yeah.
I'm back.
Nope, that is. And then Dragon Mount is right behind it. It looks like a little pyramid,
Yep.
right?
Yep. You're right. I agree with you
Right
wholeheartedly.
here's Dragon Mount then.
No, over
that's the
over to
spine
the
of
other
the
side.
world.
Over. Move your mouse around. I'll tell you when you're getting warmer. Hot.
That's Dragon Mount.
So this
That was quick.
So this vagina-looking
Yeah.
thing is actually Tarvalon right there.
Well,
Yeah.
that little. I wish I
Right
could.
there.
I just want to grab my
That-
mouse.
Yeah, it looks like the avocado.
Yeah. Yes, an avocado.
Looks like an
A
avocado.
pointy avocado.
I'm getting so hungry.
That's all right.
And that's a Dorito.
Right there. Okay.
Very
Okay.
Or a tortilla chip.
We are back.
Okay,
All
we're
right.
back.
Let me zoom in,
Can,
zoom out.
can
All
we
right.
look at that script one more time, really close?
Yeah.
I'm
Go back to that.
imagining who had to think of that.
That's such a great,
Like whoever
great.
came up with that.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I
They look
wouldn't-
like little leaves
yeah.
coming off the branches.
That's what they see when they're going through the ways.
Yeah, that's their script. That's so freaking cool.
It's so great. Yeah, it does look like branches and roots.
And leaves
And then a map. Yeah.
and a map.
And
I like it.
And weirdly enough, this is a side thing, but we know that that's something that Leandrin Sedai can read.
Mm.
Isn't that
All right.
weird? I was gonna
Hey,
say,
Robert.
chat. Can you tell us what that means? I get to work on that. Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah. Dana.
Oh, that's a beautiful shot. And there's the great trees in the background.
Mm-hmm. Look how tiny he is.
He's so tiny. There's a scene here where he's walking across the great stump.
Oh, right.
I don't know if we can
Yes.
find it.
He's walking. No, a great stump.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I
think it
just
was
in my
before
head
that.
imagine there's only one because they don't let these trees fall, I guess. I don't know. But yes, a great stump.
huh.
Awesome.
I believe in you. You can find it.
I'm trying. Hey.
Here, let me try and look on mine too if I can.
Oh well, this is not. Yeah, so let's just.
Nothing? You got nothing? Okay.
Let's move.
It's fine.
we're
I'm
gonna have to
sorry.
move on. Oh, that's a great stump right there.
If it comes up though.
Okay.
Yeah, so
tell me the timestamp if you see it.
To that point, Jansen, when you brought up the loyal comparison, I always feel like I wanted to ask: do we have an understanding of what age this is? Right, like what year or age? God, it's so beautiful.
Well, it has to be after the breaking because
Of
they
the
talk
stars.
about the longing and they talk about all those things. So I think that
So
this
it's in
would
this-
probably be current.
Okay.
Or he's off to Tarvalon to build Tarvalon.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always think of that. Like you even brought up earlier, the cycles. Like, could this be like an ancestor of loyals, or like the?
I mean, it could be Leifar,
Oh,
you know?
that'd be cool.
It could easily be Leifar. It's
Why
I
don't
don't
they
see
just
why,
let us know that though?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
think that they want to leave it a little ambiguous, but I
Oh,
think
there it
that
is.
There it is.
if it was going to be anyone in the regular timeline, I think Leifar is the only one I know of who was traveling alone and going from town to town.
That's so freaking cool.
That's an Ogier. All the great stuff.
That's great.
That's great. Super great.
That's as
It's
great
so
as
cool.
it gets.
Thank you.
That's the
I just found it on mine. I was going to tell you. It's at a minute 19.
that's the greatest of greats. Oh, good.
It's so freaking awesome.
That's rad.
Something I always wanted to see. So
Like, I wonder if that's a sad thing for him.
I think it is, but the only time they ever make a great stump is when a tree gets sick or dies, and they usually never do.
Yeah.
That's a direct quote from the book.
nice.
Yeah, they usually never do. Wow. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much our origins here.
Yeah.
What is your overall opinion of what they did with this?
I think this is a great way to get people, especially non-book readers, to have a little bit more information about what they're watching when they do watch the show, since this came out for this series. I do hope that this is something that they continue to do each series is decide to pick some of these things to give people a little bit more information.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I think season 2 seems going to be very IEL focused. Am I getting that? IEL White Cloak focused. I hope we see Ruidian either.
I hope we see something like that, but I don't know how much.
Because,
yeah.
Because remember, it didn't. We didn't get to see the Road to the Spear until book 4. So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first one was done for us, the fans. I think the breaking was saying, "All right, I know that you want the prologue. Here's it here." I don't know. I think
they tried to get Billy Zane
esoteric. Oh yeah, no, Billy Zane. I think it is as esoteric as the book prologue. We're pro Billy Zane for sure.
I'll send you guys. I'll send you guys the trailer.
Okay.
Just gonna say we already had the prologue. Why did we need another one? I don't understand. The last one was perfect.
No. Tree, what do you think about the origins?
I love it. I think it's really cool.
No, just more.
Art style.
Yeah, I want more. So much more.
Yeah. I mean, this doesn't make for great, television when everyone's agreeing with each other and loving everything so much. I feel like I just want to be like a raconteur and.
Well, I got to tell you,
things up.
It's the libs. No, I'm just kidding. I actually tweeted at Ralph Judkins this morning, Ryan, saying, please, can we have more Origins season 2?
Nice.
Beautiful.
And he didn't answer yet, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
Okay. Awesome.
I'll let you guys know.
I think that's a consensus. We love the Origins. We love the risks they took. We love basically the variety, and we kind of it's fun to talk about or speculate what they're going to do, and which ones you would have liked to have seen. So that was a fun discussion, guys. Thanks for having it with me.
Absolutely.
All right, let's head out. We'll see you next week. We're getting
Thanks
back.
For having me.
Oh, you're welcome, Tree. Thank you for coming. For reals, anytime. Oh, look at that.
Ooh.
There you go. Oh, it's going. I didn't want it to go.
We can end on that. Okay, everyone. How do we end this, Dan?
Run for your lives.
There is no endings to the origins of the Wheel of Time.
Oh, there we go. That's a beautiful one. See you guys.